I was raised by my grandma, so I was very secluded. I didn't have like a family unit. I was just kind of existing. I felt really alone. Um, so I didn't have a lot of support growing up. My dad was an alcoholic and we struggled. I thought that was like a normal family. I thought all my friends lived that way. I thought every family grew up living that way. I had no idea that was a complete lie. We didn't grow up in a household where, we were raised Christian. We were religious, but we didn't go to church often. And I didn't know that there were life tools to use to help you with, feeling like you're not enough. And the missing piece was always God. I know I pushed a lot of people away. I didn't really get close to a lot of friends. I had a few friends that were close to me, but I kept people at a distance. I was really afraid of getting too close to somebody because I didn't want to be hurt or let down. I became fed up with life after depending so much on doing the things that I thought were numbing the pain. I was avoiding the pain that I felt by numbing it with drugs and alcohol because I didn't know any other way. I grew up experiencing that and thinking that was a normal part of life, that's just what everybody did. Then I became pregnant. This was the turning point in my life. I was looking for more. I was searching for more. I would open up my Bible and, not knowing what I was reading, think that if I point to a verse and read it, that like God would speak to me, and he did. Like I remember opening my Bible and thinking like, God, I just need something more. And even though I didn't understand the words that were in that Bible, I knew God was beginning to do something. So I found grace by being invited by one of my good friends. And once I walked into grace, I just knew that this was something different. This was something good. I heard the gospel shared, and the way it was shared, I knew right then and there that I was saved, that I was going to heaven. That was the difference that I had never heard in any other church. Hearing that you have a loving Father and you belong somewhere, like you belong in heaven with him and you belong to someone, that changes everything. You feel like all the things that you told yourself that were lies about yourself in the past, they no longer apply. God opens up a brand new window and door of what he says is true about you. God knew I needed community, and as a single mom and not confident in my abilities, I looked for opportunities, and God provided. There was single and parenting being offered. There was small groups being offered. It was a blessing to connect with those believers who have gone before you, just to be able to share your story, and someone who's already gone through it is there to offer you support, to offer you hope. We launched CR. We took the 12-step study, The Journey Begins, and that was a huge eye-opener for how much has really gone on in your past that you tend to just forget about or stuff because it hurts and it's uncomfortable and nobody really talks about those things. But there was so much freedom in talking about those things and hearing others talk about those things and knowing, hey, I'm not alone. Like everyone is struggling from something in life. The wonderful thing about God is he knows our heart and he knows about our capabilities, even if we're still living in denial. God knows my heart and he gives me the gift of loving others. He blessed me with a beautiful son who has grown up here at Grace and is learning to serve through the Trek Trailblazers program. He attends Celebration Place and he's learning biblical tools for his life as well. A few years ago, God showed me what a God-fearing man who loves and serves the Lord looks like, and now I'm blessed to be his wife. My husband and I have taken just about every class Grace offers to prepare our blended family and continue to grow in our faith. I now have the humbling privilege of serving as one of our volunteer ministry leaders at Celebration Place for our K through 6th graders here at Grace. For someone like me who has a past of not feeling worthy, the last place I ever imagined God would call me to serve is in his church, working with his children. I'm humbled that God has called me to give back and serve as he has done a good work in me. My life is so different now. I wouldn't have ever thought that I would be a mom, that I would be married, that I would have my own family, and let alone that my family would be believers, that they would have surrendered their own life and given their life to Christ and live a way that God is calling us to live. Being asked to serve and lead at Celebration Place, it just reveals how good our God is. He doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. And I didn't think of myself as someone who is worthy of serving or leading or teaching, but it's a gift that God has given me, and I take it serious. I love it wholeheartedly. And if you feel like you're unworthy of such a calling, that you would know God has a way of changing your life the way that He's changed mine, so that you can see your potential in giving back to others.